And there was no issues with anyone who went and when they came back. This is the thing. Exactly, and this is the thing people seem to...
A lot of people went. I mean, Abdurrahim Green, he wrote an article, returning jihadis aren't a problem, I used to be one.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, I had the difference between ISIS versus the people who went there. I mean, we'll cover it later, but in terms of even the type of person, in terms of being educated, etc., their background, the way the government's done the narrative now is anyone who's gone there, they're a threat when they come back. But it was never the case because people were going for jihad, alhamdulillah. They were going for different forms of humanitarian support as well.
But the argument is, though, that they went there, they got kind of indoctrinated with, I don't want to say radicalized, but that's what they use, indoctrinated with some kind of ideology that paints certain kind of cataclysmic or apocalyptic pictures about Muslims vis-a-vis non-Muslims. And, you know, how much truth is there to that, or do you completely reject that?
No, I think there is some truth in that. But again, you're talking about different eras. So in Bosnia, for example, and it's also interesting, something else that happened at the start of that decade is this concept of jihad. That was the first time, around the early 90s, this concept of jihad is not just a war that you're fighting to protect innocent people on the battlefield or whatever, but you are like you're able to kill women and kids, and that is also jihad. So that was actually, so if you look in the 80s, and if you look in the 70s, if you look at like the problem that happened, like the Israeli-Palestinians, you had incidents, you had that Muslims, they went and they, you know, they killed women and kids or through explosions or shooting or whatever. But it was rogue groups who did it. It wasn't done as like a policy of this particular group of people. So this began in early 90s. It started in Egypt with the Jamaat Islamiyya, the Jamaatul Jihad groups, where they came up with some justification. They started to do it.
First time the tourists were attacked.
Tourists came a little bit later. I think Jamaat Islamiyya, I think they attacked them in 97.
So attacking civilians became... in the kind of justification of some groups, in the modus operandi of some groups, attacking civilians became like a stratagem of the war.
Yes, but that was the point I'm saying is that was the first time it happened. And I was talking to it's not important who it was, but I was talking to one of the like proponents of this thought. I was having a discussion with him, and you know, amicable discussion. I wanted to understand, and I said, okay, you promoted this thing. Help me. So, what is your understanding of this thing about targeting women and kids in war? And he said that this is the asl. This is the basis that in jihad you're allowed to do these things. But so I said to him, I said, okay, I have a question then. If this is the norm, then why is it that we don't see this happening in Islamic history from the time of the Prophet through 14 centuries? We don't see it sanctioned from the leader or the commander of a group or army, and we only see it
the modern period.
We only see it in like the late 91, 92, 93. That's when it begins. So all of those scholars, so none of them like clicked on to, hey man, this is like the main ruling. You know, it's like you're not allowed to join Asr with Maghrib, for example. So if someone today starts doing that, you'll be like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh no, but this is the Asl. So what are you talking about? You know, so no one discovered this except 1990. Like what happened? And you know, I wasn't really, you know, you can't give an answer to that because it didn't happen. So
usually the groups that now justify targeting women and children and so forth, they don't. I don't see them arguing from the point of that it's Asl is normal anyway, but they kind of argue that, well, they do it, so we're just responding in kind.
Yeah, from when the fog of war, then you're allowed to fight them.
No, you'll find that it's more than that. So some of them, and some of them don't actually know. Some of them subscribe to a particular ideology, and they think that it's just tit for tat, and they're doing it for us. I mean, the Serbs they cut open the fetuses of Muslim women, pregnant Muslim women in Bosnia. So if we believe in tit for tat, are we going to start doing that?
Unscripted.